Hi folks, this is my East Oak Patio heater, and it's 50,000 BTU. It's a really great 18 feet. It'll radiate heat out. But I didn't have it very long, and sometimes it would start and sometimes it wouldn't. Well, I looked up in there, and at night I could see a little flash every time I hit the igniter. We got to take 4 screws out, and we can take this whole top off, and then we have access to the igniter. It's really easy to do. You can do it if you're having intermittent trouble. This may be the problem. The way you can tell if it's the igniter is just simply take this little inspection hole, take your screwdriver and kind of move it around. You see there's a hole right there. Now we're going to point that right here. You can take a torch, a match, or something up there, and when you push this like you're going to start it, instead of pushing the igniter, you hit it with the torch, and if it lights up, then your intermittent problem is your igniter. So that's how you can really tell real quick. But don't hold it too long. Hold it about 3 seconds. And that should be plenty for the flame to light that gas without any trouble at all. The spark may be just weak on the bad side, not quite adjusted close enough to the metal. So I'm going to show you how to take this off and make that adjustment. Now here's a trick. I found one of them was really hard. What you do is you take your channel locks and you adjust them down. Now you want a good number 2 point Phillips. This is the newest screwdriver you got, and you put this around it, and then you can put your hand over it, and then you can push, and you'll be able to loosen it up. That was the only way I could get it. Just trying to do it by hand wouldn't do it. This is the answer right there. Just to show you, so you take this off, and there's a hole in there, so don't line it up. When you put this back in, make sure you don't try to get into these mesh holes. Look for that hole, and there's a cutout right here where this is, so that's how you can tell where everything goes. Okay, now I've got all 4 screws are out, and now I can just take this and lift it right up, and see that little cutout right there that I was telling you? Right there, it goes over this part. And then let me show you these screws so you can get those back in. See, don't try to get down in these, and it's possible. There's one for each one, so you want to line those up. You line one up, they'll all be lit up or lined up. With that off, we've got the igniter right here. When you push the button right here, it causes a discharge of energy from here, and it jumps to the ground over here. So you'll see a spark go to this point. Well, you may need to clean that, or take your pliers and just make a slight bend closer to this edge. Might make the whole difference. This right here is the unit that heats up. It's a thermal coupler that as the heats this point up, then that allows the gas to continue to flow without having this button pushed in. You have to hold it for 20 seconds and or 30 seconds to end up keeping the gas to go, which overrides this. But once you let go, when this heats up to the proper temperature, it keeps the gas flowing. Then if the flame goes out for some reason, wind blows it out, then this will cool down and shut the gas off. So it's a safety feature, this is. So it should be lined up with, and the fire comes out of these. You'll see it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to light it up and let you see. Okay, now you can see the spark is going to jump to this edge down there. You're not going to be able to see it, but I'm going to turn the gas on and hold it, and then I'm going to hit the igniter, which is down here. So there we go. Now watch the flame. It's about 3 seconds. There we go. And I have to hold it. If I let it go too soon, there. The thermocoupler now is keeping the gas flowing. But if you let go like within a second or two after igniting it when it's cold, it'll go out immediately. So if it keeps going out, that's your problem. Okay, let's turn her off. Hit her again. About 2 seconds. Perfect. Every time. So what you do is you take this. I'm not going to adjust mine because I did make an adjustment. And what you do is kind of bend this down a little bit. Now if yours looks, and plus you might wipe off any area that's you know, take a little file and clean it up. Now at night you should be able to see, or in the dark you should see a nice bright spark going across there, and you can see it at night, so you can check that. And you can actually see it right up through that hole right there. But this is where you can stick a match up and it will come in contact with the gas. So if something happens to this and you don't want to go to the trouble of taking it apart, you can use a match or one of those butane lighters and stick in, the flame shoots in, bam, it'll light every time. Okay, so let me just demonstrate that. Hold on. Now, got my torch here, and what you do is you can stick it right in there and pull the trigger and watch. Once you pull the lock off, see? Okay, now I'm going to turn it on and watch. See? And then I'll let go and see it went out because the thermocoupler did not get up to a temperature where it would hold the gas on. So I don't recommend you doing this, what I'm doing. I am doing this for instructional purposes, and I'm only holding the gas for like a second or two to get it on. And see, even when you have the gas on, if this thermocoupler is not at the right temperature, gas cannot come out. And see, there's no gas coming out right now. Okay, there. Now you can work with this just a little bit. You do not want it too close and you don't want it too far away. So very small amount of adjustment, and be careful not to bend it down here and break this porcelain. You want to bend it right at this point to get it closer, or if it's too close you want to bend it back. Chances are it's too far away. Okay, we're going to put this back on, and remember me telling you this cutout is going to go over the emergency lighting hole right here. So I'll put it right there, and you can clearly see those screw holes, and start with that back edge and work it toward the front, then push in with these edges and it'll go right in, and then you should see the screw holes there, and twist it a little bit and you can line them up. Okay, so now I get my screwdriver and put it right in, and the last one. Folks, I hope this will help you with your problem, and I tried to explain the way the system works. And there is one other thing I want to tell you about. That's another safety feature in these patio heaters. Is inside of here is a tilt switch. And that tilt switch, when this gets tilted over at a 45-degree angle, there's a ball and a switch in there. The ball will roll, or some mechanism will make contact with that switch and open up the gas so that it stops firing. So that's how that works. So if something happens to that switch, it could also create a no start because you wouldn't have any gas. So if that's a problem, when you do that test with your fire starter, it won't light because there is no gas, and you won't smell any gas. So when you push this in and you stick a fire up there and it doesn't light, then it could be that tilt switch. Okay, and you'd have to take more parts apart to get to that. All right, I want to thank you very much for watching my video, and hope you picked up some information.